Alright, this is Alan checking in at the Bridge to Nowhere. Now I'm gonna see how far and how long I can record going all the way back. It should take me about 3 hours of travel, maybe a little less, but because of the river being so treacherous, it's very high. It's very slow to cross and I have to change shoes each time, so bear with me and we're gonna see how this works out. Now I have image stabilization on, and this is only a 1080p recording, so it shouldn't use as much battery juice. So we're gonna mount this on my head and see how it works. Alright. Seal up my dry bag, because if I fall in the river, all my electronics need to be secure. All right. Alright, so I've got a spare change of my pair of socks, so that's 2 pair, because if it gets too wet, I need to change. Of course, I'm not crossing rivers like I did during the summertime because it's too precarious and I don't want to fall in. So anyways, I'm gonna just cross the bridge real quick and then we are out of here. This is just after daylight savings time ended, so I got up this morning at like, I don't know, 3:40, 3:30, but in reality that's like 2:30, and it would have been a beautiful drive, but there was construction on the freeway on the way over here, so it's getting a little windy. That's fine. So let's cross this bridge and take a look at it, and then we'll head home. It's about 7 o'clock ish, give or take. I haven't looked at an actual clock to determine the actual time, but who needs to know time when you're enjoying a morning out walking around? Well, they had originally planned to have a road here, clearly, but obviously due to this river, God had other plans with this location, so they unfortunately could not build a road up this thing. They had to like redo it. It's a real pain in the butt for those guys, but this was like a long time ago, back when they didn't do, I guess they didn't do engineering work too good, so who knows. So there's the Bridge to Nowhere, and looks like they're getting set up to do the bungee. The guy just got here. I can't believe I beat the bungee guy. They were eventually going to do zip lining up here, but I don't think they've ever completed it. It's always been looking like that. I've never seen a zip line working. So, yep, Bridge to Nowhere. Not a whole lot to look at. It's a bridge. It's kind of neat that it's this fully formed bridge where you have to hike in 4 miles to get to it. And they were mid-construction. Then there was a flood and it killed everything. So now we can head home. I mean, there's not much more to do. You can't go swimming because the water's too cold, and I don't want to catch hypothermia when I'm 4 miles in. If it was summertime, I would definitely be dipping in the pool. The river would be a lot less volatile as well. And another 3 hours, we shall be out of here. I'm curious to know how long it's gonna record for. Since it's only 1080p, this is a good test to see how long 1080p records on one battery. And that's the good news. The bad news is I don't get to see the footage until later. Oh well. And because I don't have an HDMI cable, means I have to download it to my computer and then stream it to my HD TV. But the good news is the HDMI cable's on order. So by the time we're in Cabo or Hawaii, we'll be able to do a quick view of the footage without having to plug in a computer. That's my goal anyway. When we go to Cabo, I have to I don't think I'm gonna bring a computer when we go to Cabo because it's Mexico and you never know. I could always take a loaner that I don't care about if it gets stolen. A piece of junk. And if it got stolen, then one less computer to deal with. And if CompuTrace can't find it, we get a brand new computer. So, anywho, I hope this thing isn't too shaky. If you guys, if it's like sickening, then I probably won't even upload it. I'm just kind of curious to see how good of a quality it is. But I'm not going to stop recording it because this is also a test of the qualifications and the durability, endurance of the battery. And what better way to test it than in a beautiful location where you can witness God's majesty. And it's nice to watch the sun drenching over the mountainside, and it's all green. The last few times we've been to the bridge, oh my goodness, it's been all right, 5 miles. Total mileage is about 9 miles for this, so we're 5 out of 9, just over halfway. And since I didn't record the way up, you're gonna get to see the wonders of river crossing during the bridge that I didn't get to record because it was pitch black for the most part, and I did not feel comfortable recording video when I was worried more about animals being around, because in the dawn hours of dusk, animals are getting drinks and they are interested in getting to the water source before the sun comes up so they can get their water that they need for the day, and then they'll go hunting or do whatever they got to do. But animals are way more active at night and or mid-morning, right before sunrise, because it's still cool enough that people aren't around, and it gives them a little bit of privacy. But the downside to that is I can't see them, and so right after crossing or coming into like a river, really close by a river area in a wooded section, I ran into something, and all I could see was 2 beady eyes looking at me in the dark, and that sent a shiver up my spine. Needless to say, I'm glad I had my lights, but I'm definitely thinking twice about carrying a firearm if I go night hiking again, especially on solo runs. If I'm with somebody, it doesn't really matter because we make more noise, and it'll be enough to scare off the animals a lot easier. But when you're a solo person and you're hiking, you don't make a lot of noise per se, and the animals sometimes can get spooked when you come up on them. So it's best not to corner an animal. If they hear you coming a long ways away, then they'll get super clear and hide, and you'll never know they were there, even though you might pass within a few feet of them. They're more scared of you than you are of them, unless of course it's like I said, where it's the middle of the night, you're surrounded by miles of wilderness, and all of a sudden there's 2 beady eyes staring at you, and you're like, oh boy, what do I do? Well, what you do is you make a hell of a lot of noise, you yell at it, you start banging sticks around, throw things if you can, but basically just make a whole lot of noise and then back away from it. So that's what I did. Made a lot of noise, backed away from it. And then yeah, I think this is funny. Don't trespass, it's private property, 50 acres surrounding a bridge. And there's supposedly video cameras watching us. All because this company bought the bridge so that they can do bungee jumping. I'm like, okay, but hey, you know, they wanted to own it, so I guess they did. It makes sense, because that way they don't have to pay some state fees for licensing their land or something, because the rest of the surrounding area is national forest, or is it? Yeah. Anyways, so long story short, so there's 3 water crossings that I have to switch shoes in because it's so deep. It comes up to well above my knees, and the problem is it's really cold water, and if you fall in, you could get swept away. So the trick is don't fall in. So one of them, you have to switch shoes, cross the river, walk a short distance, and then cross the river again and then you could switch shoes back on to the hiking shoes. One of them is you just switch shoes cross, and it's a really long crossing, and then you're done and you can put your shoes back on. And then the last one will be another one where you switch shoes, cross, walk a ways, cross again, and then switch shoes back. And that's the last one. And that's basically we're homeward bound at that point. And may not even switch shoes at the last one. No, I'll switch shoes because I don't want to have wet shoes going back. Because the drier you keep your feet, the more comfortable they are, and the less likely there are to develop sores and get hurt. So anyways, I'm gonna be the only one on this trail until I see people coming up. And it's 7 o'clock, so people are starting to come up as they get here, usually about 5, and it takes 3 hours. So 6, 7, 8. So about an hour I'll probably see somebody. However, with the river so strong, it's gonna weed out a lot of people. Especially this last crossing, it was pretty brutal. It was so deep and fast because the water was concentrated in one area that it caused a very fast current, and because it was so deep, you don't have a lot of good footings, and when you put the pole in the water when it's going that fast, you can feel it vibrating because it's just like so we shall see. This is an old sign. It clearly didn't last. They have these metal poles that have welded numbers on them that indicate mile markers. But according to the GPS systems that I have, they're either short or something, because it just doesn't